So the Chamorro language is very close to that, the roots of this Austronesian language. And it's spread before modern times. That language group spread itself more than any other language from far north as Taiwan, as far east as Rapa Nui or Easter Island, and as far west as Madagascar. Madagascar was only 250 miles from Africa, but it's first settled by Austronesian-speaking people that had canoes and could sail. And so all the people of Polynesia and Micronesia speak, and most of Indonesia and a few in Southeast Asia, like the Chamic and the Montanars in Vietnam, they speak a version of Chamorro. Well, Dr. Villar found, he's from the University of Pennsylvania, and he found that sometime between 4,000 and 5,000 years ago, those clans became distinct from all other Southeast Asians. So where did that happen? How could that happen? Well, it happened because they were somewhere out of touch with other Southeast Asians, and it was probably the Mariana Islands. It was a hard question to answer, and I would usually say to them that the Chamorro mythology is really correct, that the Chamorros were created in the Marianas, because that's where they became distinct from all other Southeast Asians. That's where they became and are still becoming. They're still becoming Chamorros today. So in a way, Chamorros created themselves in the Marianas. Well, archaeologists are very conservative. They always want to say that people, over and over again, they'll say 3,500 years ago, the Marianas were settled, and that's still the earliest remote Pacific island settled. That's, even if you go with that date. But if you look at those dates in the Marianas, 3,500 years ago, or often when they actually do the radiocarbon dating, it's 3,500 years before present. Well, the baseline for that is around 1950, so you have to add 70 years to that right there. But there's lots of mid and below those dates. Alexander Spohr, some of his radiocarbon dates have been revised. They're not as old as he thought, but those very old dates that he found, there was 4 feet of midden evidence of human inhabitation below those dates. So the oldest, for sure, date we have in the Marianas is at Chugao Bay, and it was a very confident, the archaeologists are very confident that was a really good date, 1784 BC, or about 3,800 years ago. And there was midden below that. So they didn't find the oldest, the oldest evidence of human and habitation. They didn't find it. I mean, that'd be a real miracle had they did that. And that's by far the oldest in the Pacific. But in 2004, Paul Rainbird wrote a book called Archaeology of Micronesia. And he estimated that the Marianas were the first remote Pacific islands reached in the world. Actually, not just the Pacific. first remote islands reached anywhere. And he estimated 4,500 years ago.